Good morning. Welcome to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend Lani Howard. I am honored to be your minister this morning. It's my pleasure to welcome everyone here in the room and on Facebook, Zoom, and YouTube. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And we'll begin our morning with 2 community songs so we can entrain our energy, whether you're virtual or real here. We are going to sing together. And if anybody told you you can't sing, don't believe them. Go ahead and sing anyway, okay? All right, the words will be up here.
Everything I need to know about what lies before me, everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. It's available to me. In the mind of God, everything I need to do about what lies before me, everything I need. Everything I need to bring home about what lies before me. Everything I need to bring home about what lies before me is available to me. It's available to me. In the mind of God within me. Everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me. Everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me is available to me. It's available to me. In the mind of God within me. Everything I need to be strong about what lies before me. Everything I need to be strong about what lies before me is available to me. It's available to me. Through the mind of God, everything I need to know. Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. It's available to me. Through the mind of God within me. Through the mind of God within me. Through the mind of God within me. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome. It's an Eric Bibb song. I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. Oh, I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. Oh, I am. What I'm here for, I wonder, what am I in this world to do? What I'm here for is one thing I know is true. I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. Oh, I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. Oh, I am. Looking in the mirror, I'm asking, am I the change I long to see? You know the world is just a picture of what's inside of you and me. I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I life in the air, the land, and the sea. Is a precious gift to me in a world that's torn by war and strife. All we can do is claim love as our reality. I'll tell you, if you ask me what I'm in this world to do, I live for the spirit I am. 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 Walking with the spirit. I am. Talking with the spirit. I am. Moving with the spirit. I am. Improving with the spirit. I am. Let's mix it up with the spirit. I am. Gonna mix it with the spirit. I am. Healing it with the spirit. We're gonna heal it with the spirit. I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. I am.
Thank you. All right. So, welcome again, everyone who just joined us, either in the room or on YouTube, Facebook, or Zoom. And once again, I'm Reverend Lani Howard, and I'm honored to be your minister this morning. And it's my pleasure to remind us of who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the diversity of creation. We strive to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of the science of mind and spirit. We engage in sacred practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, to each other, and to the world. We experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, our talent, and our treasures. And we intentionally promote our community and our teachings because they have made such a difference in our lives. One of the ways we demonstrate our inclusion is by a candle lighting ritual, and Marilyn is going to help me with that today. Thank you, Marilyn. We light these candles to celebrate the unity of all life, all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life. We light the first candle for the shamanic tradition, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for Taoism, honoring the path of ultimate reality, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the middle way and path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the teachings of Jesus as the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought teachings, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles of love and law. We light the 10th candle for absolute inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome and celebrated here. And we light this final candle, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen. And now I'm going to turn it back over to our musicians for our next community song.
Y'all have a seat. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to our faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, I feel that I sit slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. It's alright. Ah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well done. There's a lot of little finger picking there. Woo-hoo, yes. So, making sure my mic is on. I've done that in the past, so. All right, so now we're going to go over our announcements. So, they're on your screen if you're on joining us via live stream, and they're up on the wall here as well. So we're open. We're continuing to meet in person according to the Nevada County Public Health orders, and now they're saying we can go ahead and just do what works for us. So if you want to wear your mask, wear your mask. If you don't want to wear your mask, don't wear your mask. And we continue to use our necklace way of identifying each other If you wear a red necklace, that means that you would not appreciate no physical touching. Please stay 6 feet away. And there are little signs that you can put on the seats beside you to make room so that if you want to create space, you can do that. If you're yellow, you're still figuring out what's comfortable for you. So just ask me if I want to give you a hug, and I probably do. And this also matches my outfit. Okay. Green, I'm okay interacting in close physical proximity, handshakes, and even hugs. So that's what the green says. And, you know, folks, it's wonderful to have people in the room. You know, I love hearing your applause, your laughter, your just presence makes a big difference, not just for me, but for each other. It's about spiritual community. So I just encourage you I know it means you have to get up and put clothes on and get out of the house instead of just sitting there eating your breakfast and watching the service, but it's great to come together again. If you do have any symptoms of anything, please stay home. And if you do happen to test positive for COVID within a week of having been here, please contact Reverend Rafe so that we can be in integrity for contact tracing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. There is a retreat coming up with Karen Drucker and Gary Lynn Floyd. They're facilitating a retreat for your mind, body, and soul. And I've been to a couple of Karen Drucker's retreats in the past, and they're really amazing. So I encourage you. It's Friday, April 29th, through Sunday, May 1st, at Ananda Village in Nevada City. So for additional info, you look at www.karendrucker.com or www.garylynnfloyd.com. Easy peasy. And now Walking with the Rev is another wonderful opportunity for you to connect spiritually with Reverend Rafe and just have a conversation or just enjoy the trees and the forest bathing that you get when you walk in the woods. So he will be walking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., unless it rains, and then he probably won't show, but if it's not raining or snowing, he'll be there, meeting at the parking lot at the North Star Mining Museum at the intersection of Freeman Lane and Allison Ranch Road. So if you're looking for somebody to walk with, there he is. And Reverend Rafe has gotten very creative. He has created the SOM crossword puzzles. This is a collection of 45 different digital web-based crossword puzzles, each created using the words and definitions from the glossary in the Science of Mind textbook. So it's a really fun thing to look at and to experience. There are 22, we have 22 puzzles that are based on each letter of the alphabet represented in the glossary, ranging from 3-word clues to 56-word clues. So he's gotten very creative. 23 of the puzzles are random, containing either 20 or 21-word clues. You can purchase them individually or in packages, and access links to each puzzle in your order will be emailed to you within 48 hours of your purchase. So, you know, this is a good brain builder. You know, I don't know about you, but as some of us are aging, we're looking at building brain resilience, you know, and so this is a good way to do that. And there's a new service coming up. This is really exciting. First Friday Fun, a time of connection and learning. The first one is April 1st from 5 to 8 p.m. They're going to show the movie Labyrinth, which is a Jim Henson movie. We'll open up a discussion of the spiritual principles viewers identified and experienced in the movie and what we can relate to in our own lives. So that sounds like fun. You bring your own dinner, and they will have beverages and snacks available for purchase. So that sounds like a real fun time. So now we begin our time of inward shift. And our community value for this week is authenticity. This is one of the values that we as the community value. And authenticity is, one of the definitions is true to one's own personality, spirit, or character. Sincere, no pretensions. So what this says is, be who you are here. Each of us is a unique expression of the Spirit of God, the Spirit of life itself. And if we're not being who we are, who will be? We each are a thread in the infinite tapestry of life. We add color, we add texture, we add life to life. And we do it uniquely, each of us, a unique expression of that life. So if we are not authentic, we are not really truly giving the gift that we've been given. So authenticity is our value for today. And now our musicians will lead us into a meditation with the song In This Very Room by Ron and Carol Harris.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to change
Let's take a breath together as I lead us in our spiritual mind treatment. I know that there is just one power in the universe, the power that created everything out of itself. That energy, that intelligence, that creativity, that abundance, that beauty, that love, that balance, that harmony, that wholeness, all of it created from that same infinite substance, present in the manifest universe, everywhere, the infinite potential of all of that energy, right here, right now, present in me, present in all. And so I know that that power and presence is guiding our thoughts, our words, and our actions as we remember that we are aligned with it, that we are one with it, that it is guiding the entire experience of the universe, all of the planets, all of the suns, all of the galaxies, everything in harmony and in balance. Remember that on this beautiful equinox, where the light and the dark are equal and the light begins to shine more and extends further. And we open to that light, to that infinite intelligence, to guide us to paths of love and peace and compassion and harmony and health and wholeness. And know that as we focus on those qualities, we enhance them, we become them, we recognize and experience them in greater and greater ways. We look to the good, we look for the good, we praise it. We give thanks for it, for gratitude is a generative energy that brings more and more of what we're grateful for. And so we hold all of those who are troubled today in our hearts, sending our love, sending our peace, sending our joy, sending our creativity, sending our abundance, and realizing that we are one, that there is a unity, and that we, in giving our best to life, are bringing forth the best from life. And so with great gratitude for this experience, for this time together, for being our authentic and spiritual true selves, with love and with joy, I release my word into the law of life itself, knowing that the law responds by corresponding to this energy and brings it forth. And we affirm this truth together as we say, and so it is. And so our affirmation today is, I'm going to say it once, and then we'll all say it together. I invite you to say it together. I rest in divine joy. I rest in divine joy. And so it is. And now our musicians are going to give us some special music.
This is an old spiritual that was adapted by the same guy who wrote Spirit I Am that we did earlier, and Eric Bidd, and then I fooled around with it some more and added some lyrics and whatnot. It's called Needed Time. is needed time. Now is the needed time. Right now is needed time. Right now is needed time. We're living in the needed time. We're living in spirit now, right here. Spirit now, there's nothing here but spirit now. I'm gonna rest my soul in spirit now, right here. In spirit now, we're living in the spirit now. Even if it doesn't look like that sometimes, it doesn't look like that. There's nothing here but spirit now. Even when it doesn't look quite right, even if it's out of sight, we're living in the spirit now. Singing right now, needed time right now is needed time. Now is the needed time. Right now is needed time. Right now we're living in the needed time. Let me sing my song. Somehow we're gonna get along, no doubt. We're gonna go our ways, but now we're gonna be right here today. Right now is needed time. Right now is needed time. Now is the needed time. Right now is needed time. Right now we live in the needed time.
Very much. Thank you, thank you. I got this talk title, and you know, when I got it, I said, WTF, which in this case means, wow, that's foolish. Because rest, you know, researchers say rest makes us more productive. And doctors tell us that rest reduces stress and allows the body to heal. And artists tell us that rest allows us to connect to our inner creativity and problem-solving capacities. So rest is absolutely necessary because we happen to be in a physical body, and that body needs rest. Now, that doesn't always mean sleep. Sleep is a very important component, but it means resting from working on the problem. It means taking a break. It means going fishing. It means going sailing. It means going for a walk in the woods. It means having dinner with the family. It means hanging out with friends. It means allowing us to shift from the busyness to the tranquility, to the serenity of life that is absolutely present if we remember to tune into it. So rest brings us balance, and it recharges us for the next period of activity. Today is the vernal equinox. So spring is happening. The day and the night are equal today. Although on my phone it said there's a couple of minutes difference, but it is in favor of being lighter in terms of the sunset. So anyway, but it's the vernal equinox. So nature demonstrates balance all the time. I mean, all of the plants are resting in the winter. You know, some lose their leaves, they lose their flowers, they die back, and then the sun comes forth, and they are ready for activity again. So I know pretty soon my car will be covered with yellow pollen from the pine tree outside my house. So, it's part of that cycle of life. And so the Bible tells us that God took 6 days to create the world, and then he rested, right? So that was a great gift of Judaism to the world, the Sabbath. Now, if we were Orthodox Jews, on the Sabbath, which is like Friday night to Saturday night, we would go to temple in the morning on Saturday. We would not turn on any lights. We would not turn on any electronics of any kind, no TV, no radio, no phone, no nothing. We would not cook. We would have cooked the day before to get ready to eat something that we didn't have to cook. We wouldn't turn on a light or light a candle. We wouldn't do any of those things because it's the time for rest, the time to be with family, have a meal with the family, go for a walk, maybe play a game, but just to be remembering the gift of life and the gift of creation. So I remember when I was growing up in San Francisco in the 50s, stores were closed on Sundays. You did not go shopping on Sunday. You did not even go grocery shopping on Sunday. Stores were closed. So you went to church, you came home, maybe you watched golf on television. And actually, it was a little too early for golf, but there was probably a lot of church on television. And we just, hang out, have a big family dinner, and that was Sunday. Now, we have really ramped things up since then. But our bodies must have rest. I was listening to NPR, which is one of my favorite things. I happen to do that almost every day. And they were telling a story about something called the Race Across America. This is a bicycle race, 3,000 miles from the West Coast to the East Coast. And unlike the Tour de France, which takes 3 weeks to go 2,500 miles, the Tour de France takes breaks. Well, not the Race Across America. They bicycle 24 hours a day. Maybe they take 1 hour to sleep. They're going over mountains, they're going through deserts, they're going through all of these weather events. They just keep going, and by the time they get to Kansas, they're hallucinating because their bodies have not rested. The guy from France thought that the trees were trying to attack him, and another guy got into a fight with a mailbox. So we need rest. We need to to let our bodies renew. I have a Fitbit, and I wear it to bed, and then it gives me a little report on my sleep, which tells me, how much deep sleep and REM sleep. They say these are the two most important things to have. Deep sleep is where your body heals itself. Unfortunately, I don't get a lot of that, but anyway, it varies. So you get REM is where you're dreaming. But those are things that really help to refresh your body and your brain. I went to a presentation yesterday about, super aging, and they talked about the importance of sleep. So we need to take time to sleep. Take a time for a nap. If you feel tired, take a nap. It's okay. It's okay. I love this quote by Lily Tomlin. The trouble with the rat race is that even if you win, you're still a rat. I used to be a computer programmer. And computer programs frequently have errors, which were called bugs. And they called them bugs because when the machines were done by hand, they would just physically program the machines. They would plug things in and everything, and they actually got bugs in the machine that would mess up the program. So that's how that term bug came about. But when we had it, we were all, writing programs, and they were compiling and they were running, but we didn't have actual physical bugs, although you could probably have a physical bug, but mostly it was just errors that in the programming. And so I would sit there trying to figure it out, and I would be, trying this, trying that. Well, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I would stay there until, 10, 11 at night, running this, running that, trying that. And believe me, when it was on punch cards, that was an ordeal. Anyway, but, I realized finally, go home. Just go home. Go to bed, sleep, and 4 o'clock in the morning, I would wake up and I would know exactly what I'd done. I know exactly how to fix it. Because I let myself rest. And in that rest, in our dreams, in our nighttime resting, we tune in to the infinite mind that knows the solution. And if we're open to it, it comes. We let it inform us. We let it guide us. We let it direct us. Because this is part of the creative process. Rest is part of the creative process. When we do our spiritual mind treatment, the big trick to it is releasing it. We cannot hang on to it. We have to let spirit take over. So in our prayer, the final step is releasing it into spirit to say, okay, you got it. I'm done with it. I know you're going to take care of this. And we let it go. We go do something else. Dr. Don Spencer is an educator promoting project-based learning, which is creative in schools. He's teaching teachers creativity. And he says, rest is not a luxury you earn when you're finished with creative work. It is a discipline you cultivate to make you more creative. It is a discipline you cultivate to make you more creative. And then we also have, be still and know that I am God. That is a wonderful quote from Psalms. And our daily meditation practice allows us to rest in the presence of Spirit, to open ourselves to inspiration. Now, you might think, okay, meditation, I have to sit in a certain way, I have to hold my hands a certain way, I have to light a candle, I have to have incense, blah, blah. No. Meditation can be so many different things. It can be just taking a walk and noticing, being present to the trees, to the flowers, to the birds, to the spirit, being mindful, being present to life is a meditation practice. Maybe walking your dog is a meditation practice. Maybe painting is a meditation practice. Maybe playing an instrument is a meditation practice. Maybe reading something inspiring is a meditation practice. So that you are letting go of whatever is the problem, the activity, the work that has to be done, the maintenance that has to be maintained, and all of the things we have to do. Well, remember that wonderful spiritual teacher Frank Sinatra said, do, be, do, right? So we have to do and then be. Do and then just be. Do and then just be. In the Declaration of Principles for the Science of Mind, it says, we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. Anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in concert with the indwelling God. And so how do we do that? We have to spend that time in rest, in meditation, in moving ourselves away from the left rational brain into the right creative brain. So we have to stop trying to figure out the problem. Let it go and let the problem let us know what the answer is. What is ours to do? Now the thing is, a lot of us resist things like meditation because we're afraid of what we might encounter there. We might be afraid that, what am I going to find out about myself? Am I really worthy? Am I afraid of being alone? Do I think that my actions define me? All of these questions we might have, and we're scared to get the answer. But Spirit is on our side. One of the things that really freed me was the universe is conspiring for our good. It's like, the universe is conspiring for my good? Okay, then I'm going to step up and listen to what it's going to tell me and know that it's helpful. I might not like what it tells me, but it probably is good information to help me heal, to help me deal with whatever that issue is. Holmes says, the quickest and most effective method to get rid of fear is to get quiet and lift up the whole thought in confidence and faith to something bigger than we are. It's like going from a cold, dark room into the sunshine and sitting there, letting the rays of the sun penetrate the whole being with warmth and color until the darkness and dampness are gone. So it is with the life of prayer and faith, of affirmative meditation, and of communion with that divine spirit, which is closer than our very breath. So we can experience the sun even in the depths of winter, even in the depths of the lack of light or the fear of the world conditions and all of that stuff. We have to remember that we get still and remember the soul. Remember the harmony. Remember the wholeness. I was reading, there's a wonderful book called Sabbath by Wayne Muller, who was a Methodist minister. And he talks about the walking as a spiritual practice. But he said, the story is told of a South American tribe that went on a long march day after day, when all of a sudden they would stop walking, sit down to rest for a while, and then make camp for a couple of days before going any farther. They explained that they needed the time to rest so that their soul could catch up with them. I'd like to begin to close with a Wendell Berry poem. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world and am free. I rest in the grace of the world and I'm free. So we take this again into prayer, knowing that infinite grace, that infinite love, that infinite intelligence, that infinite life is present right here, right now. And that we are all surrounded by it, imbued with it, living in it. And that it is our comforter, our guide, our place of belonging, our place of rest, our place of wholeness, our place of healing. And we allow it to do its work in and through and as us. And so I give thanks for the gifts of the Spirit that are flowing to us and through us right here and right now, as I release my word knowing it is done. And we affirm this together as we say, and so it is. Let's take a breath. So now is the time for our conscious giving. Oops. I have to unmute. I unpicked my pick mute so we can see what we're doing here. Yes. So thank you, Juanita, for giving me the press the button sign. So now is the time for us to practice the law of circulation. For what we have received, we give. For all of our wonderful musicians and for all the gifts of spirit, and to keep the lights on and the building going, we just give our gifts. And so what we do is, we take our gifts and we hold them over our heart. And we say this affirmation together. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And so Jill will receive your gifts.
Nothing you can see that isn't shown.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now we're going to bless our offering as we send it out into the world. We give thanks for all of these gifts and know that they are going out into the world to bless and prosper every individual and organization that receives them, and that the gift comes back to each giver, pressed down and overflowing. We give thanks, we call it good, and so it is. So, and if you aren't here in the building and you want to give, you can do it via the website. There's a donate button there, and you can also mail it to our address here, Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, Post Office Box 2714, Grass Valley, California 95945. So thank you to all of you in virtual land, because you want to keep this going too. See Reverend Rafe and get all these reminders. We're not telling you anything you don't know. We're just reminding you again and again, because we all forget. We all get sort of caught up in the world as it is, and we forget the world as it wants to be. So I'm going to give thanks for all of our musicians. Thank you, Marilyn and Jeff and Donald and Julie, for the music today. Thank you, thank you. Yay. And thank you to Jill, who is our greeter and who brought the beautiful orchids. Look at those. Woohoo! Lovely. Thank you, Jill. And thank you to Hillary and to Diana Carolyn, Diana, and to wonderful Juanita for all of their technical expertise. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you, thank you.
And thank you, Rev Lani.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. So let's stand for our benediction. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It is this thing called life. It is this thing called inspiration. It is this thing called rest. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. Because I am it. And so it is. Now we'll have our closing song. I give myself permission.
I give myself all I can be. I give myself be all I can be. All I can give, I give myself. It is